So first of all, I love outdoor. It's always been one of my favorite mediums. I think what's most interesting, it's always about people first. It's always about understanding who you're talking to, where they are, what they're doing, what they might be interested in, and then giving them the story that works.
We spend a great deal of our time outdoors. I actually think out of home is a really exciting place to be. Pairing the mobile with the digital screens outdoors is a natural and powerful synergy that will be great for consumers.
I think the fact is they've been out of home forever and people have probably travelled around and done the same things they've always done. I think the advent of mobile technology has changed how people interact. Well, now we can look at people who are dropping children off at school and using that kind of data, not just to look at where they go, but also look at their other behaviour.
In order to really grab someone's attention and to get them to understand the value proposition of what we're offering them, video has become that tool for us.
Out of home and place-based, there's lots of great examples of how advertising information is being served up dynamically. What was reserved in the past for digital interactive devices, now we can do that in other out-of-home and other place-based forms.
We've started to see some of the video everywhere screens start to come in and transact and find a rational way to attach to audiences that are already traded through automation in the digital world.
So you've got to be able to have very timely information, and you've got to be able to get people where they are at, whether they're at work, in transit, they're commuting. You've got to be able to have the right medium and modem to get that information to them.
We are at a great intersection of being able to take all that data and apply it to out-of-home and place-based.
I'm excited because the industry right now is really moving at such a rapid pace. I think if you start to look at major brands and some of the major advertisers and how they use digital place-based advertising, it's really quite unique.
Mobile and out-of-home naturally go together. Out-of-home is a mobile medium. It's about reaching the consumer on the go.
Using that mobile data to start to build archetypes, to understand them better, for out-of-home, for place-based.
It's really trying to hyper-localize the teams and the experience. So you really see the use of technology and place-based advertising throughout the city.
And when you see a cinematic experience or see something moving on a screen when you're walking down the street, then if you can use data the right way from the mobile or other sources to make sure that that content's relevant, it starts to get really interesting.
The opportunity then to connect with someone and drive the consideration through an engagement is much greater now with the interactivity that out-of-home and place-based offer.
Can we get this mic on? Because I've got Mr. Mike Gamaroff coming up here. Mike is an executive at SITO. He's formerly from the agency side. He's formerly a brilliant tech guy. And in addition to your many polymath skills, you have also been the producer and director of that great video. Let's give the video and Mike a hand.
Thanks, Barry. Actually, as a shout out to Nicole. She's our very own Nicole at SITO who started that video.
Is Nicole? Oh,
she's not here.
She's not here. All right, we'll give her best. Tell her we all liked the video. So this was a video of some of our friends at the association, my friends, and speakers from previous years. Mike, SITO's done a great job of really fulfilling the dream of the love affair between mobile and digital out of home. As this convergence happens, give me a sense of how it happens and then why it's important, maybe.
You know, I've been an advocate for convergence for quite a long time, but it's not just for the sake of it. You know, I'm seeing this incredible inverse relationship between the two. You know, it's each of them have mobile and out of home, each have their own weaknesses, but their own strengths, but they oppose each other, where the strengths of one compensate for the weaknesses of the other. And it's kind of like having two tables with two legs missing on each. You know, it's better to have one table that has two legs.
Right.
So, for example, out-of-home has always struggled to be measured, to be able to see the results of it. It's a faith-based medium primarily. You could always measure mobile very easily, but it suffers from its own viewability issues.
Right.
And so when you bring them together, you end up having a greater than the sum of the parts
Right.
effect. And so that's why I like to see more mobile and out-of-home being planned together.
And how does SITO affect this? How do they affect the change and bring them together?
Well, SITO is a great ad tech company in my view, and we've embraced that not just because we see this additional revenue stream perhaps in out-of-home. That's not what it is at all. A lot of times you don't really hear about the fact that mobile needs support from digital play space and out-of-home.
Vice versa, right.
Mobile is being held to account now, and when we've seen the first exposures occurring in digital play space and the second exposures occurring in mobile, those results in mobile tend to be a lot better.
Right.
So if that's the case, then any advertiser who's spending a lot in mobile, which they are, as we know, should be including some digital play space or out-of-home on those plans.
And we've seen today the power of the data. It's really incredible, the location data.
That's what makes it all possible.
Yeah.
Right now, the scale is finally there with data.
Right.
It's so big now that it is possible to do a national campaign across any DMA. I mean, I've drawn a geofence around a country road in Nebraska and found 6 impressions, or sightings of a mobile device.
And who were they voting for?
That was quite dodgy where you were last night, Barry. I was just looking at your records that we have.
Oh boy, okay. He's got all the data where my mobile device was, right?
That's right.
Uh-oh. But everybody should know, by the way, and we joke, but it is all aggregated and anonymized, so there's no personally identifiable information that transfers through any place. But the reality is, it's powerful data, right?
That's hence the reason for the joke.
Right.
It's quite the opposite, in fact. The data that you have, you may be able to see the movement patterns of particular audiences, but you're not looking at any one person in particular, and so there really isn't a privacy.
And you guys are working with quite a lot of the digital play companies, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody is recognizing this right now, and our digital play space partner friends are recognizing that advertisers are seeing this convergence take place. And I would like to see that convergence happening from within the out-of-home and the digital play space community. I'd rather this community lead that charge than it come from the mobile side. I still think that digital play space and out-of-home is still probably the most engaging and impactful medium. And so it really deserves the credit for incorporating mobile, I think. It's
really well said, Mike. Thank Mike Gamaroff. Michael, thank you so much. Pleasure, buddy. Thank you.